You're okay. You want to be on the live stream.
Hello, everyone. This is the Kiltz Health live stream with Dr. Nelson, and I am your host, Dr. Nelson. And I'm coming today from Central Florida. Please put in the chat where you're watching from. Let me try to start this now. We are trying to go live on Rumble. And we have tried this a few times, but I'm hoping we're gonna be able to do it today.
Yeah, that's a whole nother audience.
Yeah, we'll see. If we're not able, we're not able.
Hello,
Anyway,
Coach Angela.
let's see.
Of course, I forgot my water.
All right. So, okay, I guess we're having problems with Alia's channel here.
No.
All right, I see Leon, Paul, Brisket Boomers, Coach Angela Mullins, Terry B, um,
Hello,
Rick,
everybody.
Charger Mopar. Glad you can all make it. We're going to have a very good story here. Our guest today is a powerful example of what healing can do. For over 30 years, he lived with the debilitating pain of psoriatic arthritis, chronic inflammation, and several mental health struggles. He didn't just find a way to manage, he found a way to thrive by removing toxicity from his diet, mind, and soul. He is the creator of the Carnivore Healing Retreat. I'm looking forward to someday going there. And the voice behind Coach Lash on YouTube, please join me in welcoming a true warrior for health to the Kiltz Health live stream with Dr. Nelson. Welcome to the show, Lash.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Wonderful to be here. Always great to see your face. I hope you have a few good jokes for me today.
uh, usually I reserve most of those for the meetups. Uh, but yeah, no, you know, you go to the doctor sometimes and they ask you about high risk activities because you're trying to determine, you know, if you race cars, fly planes, have guns, things like that. So last week I was at the doctor's and they asked me, do you engage in any high risk activities? And I said, well, I like to argue with my wife.
I'm sure that can be extremely high risk.
Uh, I want to jump right into a specific aspect of your story of healing because it is
Sure.
one of the things others can see and could see before. You suffer from psoriasis for many years, and we have some pictures. So I'm going to start there and just quickly show them.
Ugh. Yeah. That was people's
This,
reaction when they looked at me. Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh. Like
I
they
mean, you
pointing.
can see, especially in the left upper corner of that picture, that's how you spend most of your life before changing dramatically your diet, right? You
Yeah.
can see on your legs in particular.
My entire legs from hip to feet were completely covered, and you can see it went all the way up to as far as my man boobs that I had. But I would say I was 90% covered.
So this is pretty impressive because on the left you see the before and on the right the after. And I have met you a few times already. You don't have anything like that. A couple of weeks ago, you were with us in the morning, and you had something to eat that wasn't within your usual plan,
Mm.
and you suffered the consequences with just a little patch. Uh, but that is definitely remarkable.
Yeah,
So,
I think that patch was also stress. It was definitely.
yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us your story of healing. We'd love to hear the stories of healing and how you can reverse and put into remission many conditions that nowadays, first of all, they are considered chronic, uncurable, ever worsening diseases. And then you have to use expensive medications or injections to counter the effects of these conditions. In the case of psoriasis, it wasn't on your skin, it was also inside psoriatic arthritis associated with psoriasis, because the same inflammation that's happening on the skin, it can happen inside. And, so many of us nowadays have to be injecting ourselves or taking pills that can damage your kidneys, your liver, your heart. And even though it may not happen for 100% of the people, a lot of the people can avoid having to use those medications by doing what you did. So go ahead.
Absolutely.
Time is yours.
So yeah, thank you. I'm Stephen Lashbrook. I go by Lash. So yeah, look me up as Lash if you want to find me. Um, it started the pain actually started preteen, and everyone thought it was growing pains, and that's what everyone told me because I had back pain, I had wrist pain, I had a lot of joint pain as a preteen. And also had depression. Depression started at 3 years old, but I'll skip the early stages and get right to the diagnosis of psoriasis. That came at age 19, I think, 18, 19. I went to the doctor because I had a few spots and I was concerned that it was something like an STD, and I was freaking out. And the doctor said, "No, no, no, silly. That's not an STD. That's psoriasis. You'll have that the rest of your life. Don't worry about it. Here's a cream." Okay, so that's how that started with the steroid cream. Um, and so started using the steroid creams on the spots, and it wasn't really doing anything, and I'd have to use them 5, 6 times a day. And that was really annoying. And like you said, it was expensive. Luckily, at that time, I did have insurance. Um, but throughout the years, it spread. So it took over my entire scalp. Then it went to my elbows. Then it went to my knees. Um, took over my groin area. Then my entire legs, from my whole buttocks down to my feet. It just kept spreading, and I would go through breakouts where it would get really bad like that, and my whole body. And then I could kind of manage it a little bit in the summer times with the steroids and the creams and getting more sun in the summer and getting into the salt water. But I tried to manage it with diet plenty of times. So I got all the books on cure your psoriasis with diet. Eat this to cure psoriasis. Do this to cure psoriasis. Followed all those different things. None of them worked. Usually made it worse. Um, so during from 18 to 48, I went through multiple phases of this getting worse, getting a little better, going to the doctors, getting different meds, not going to the doctors, having no insurance for years, getting insurance again, going back to the doctors. So I finally went back for the last time when I was like 47. I got insurance again. And at that time, it was awful. And I was completely miserable. Depression was through the roof, suicidal thoughts through the roof, the chronic pain just unstoppable, unbearable. I didn't sleep really for those 30 years. I was up all night twitching and spasming, and it felt like pain was coming from inside my joints and radiating outwards. And I'd have these like jolts of spasms all night and just uncomfortable kicking, along with the itching and bleeding and waking up covered in blood. So when I got insurance again at 47, and I was at like death's door at that point, I could barely make it to work anymore. I could barely do anything. And I started doing UV treatment again because I didn't want to go on the heavy prescription medications. That didn't help. I did that for like 6 months, didn't help at all. And everything was just getting worse and worse. And so I finally went in there and he said, "Here's 2 injections." And he handed them to me. And I was like, "Why are you handing these to me?" He said, "Yeah, you just do it yourself. You just shove them in your stomach." I said, "Tell me more about this." He said, "Well, you're going to be on them for the rest of your life. And basically, it's immune suppressant drug, biologic or whatever they call it. And the side effects were awful. More depression, more suicidal thoughts. I think death was in there, a whole bunch of stuff. So I looked this doctor straight in the face and I said, "That is going to kill me." And I said, "And you're going to be responsible for my death." And I said, "You don't want that on your hands." So at that point, I left his office to go end my life once and for all. And when I got home and was, I don't know, looking to do something to make a plan, I don't know what I was doing on my phone. Michaela Peterson popped up on my phone, and her TED Talk story, what I listened to for 15 minutes, and it blew my mind that she was able to heal so many different things that she had. And a lot of the things she had, I was going through similar issues with my pain. And so I said, I didn't want to end my life ever. I only just wanted to be better. I only just wanted to be healthy, and be in a normal person's body. So I figured I'd give it a try. And I weaned off sugar, and I weaned off vegetables, and I weaned off fruit, and I weaned off grains and beans, and I just kept getting off of everything and fasting at the same time. Like I was doing 20 hours a day fasting, and things started getting better, and I was amazed. But then the holidays of 2024 hit, and I was alone. I was going through a breakup from like a 10-year relationship, and I crashed into a pumpkin pie, and that set me off until the end of that year, and I got really, really sick again, like worse than I was, a few months before that when I started. So January 1st of 2024, oh yeah, it was 2023 when I went off the wagon. January 1st, 2024, I went full lion. And within 7 days, like I saw the most dramatic results I'd seen this whole time. And I said, well, that's that. I'm going to stick with this. And that year was the best year of my life. And it's only been getting better and better and better ever since.
And for those watching that may not know what you meant by I went full lion, I want you to explain that. I have at least 3 or 4 members of family and extended family friends that I want them to watch this, and they know nothing about what we're talking about. So,
Mhm.
what do you mean by a full lion? And I should also say that you mentioned Michaela Peterson, and Michaela Peterson was the one who coined the lion diet, and because he had severe autoimmune problems, and she has been able to reverse it now. It took her 8 years of trial and error to try to go back to adding some other stuff that was not animal based. But go ahead, explain what lion diet
Right.
means.
So, lion diet, which again you said Michaela coined the phrase. She couldn't tolerate eggs. She couldn't tolerate bacon. She couldn't tolerate butter. Um, the only thing she could tolerate out of the beef, butter, bacon, eggs is the beef. So, after so many experiments and horrible trials that she had with food, and also her father and her mother had with food, it came out that beef, salt, water was basically what she had to do to get this condition under control that she had. And it worked, and it worked like a miracle. I mean, she had joint replacement surgeries as a child, like her,
Multiple, yeah.
yeah, and her whole entire family was like cursed with multiple different issues and health problems, and they've all since recovered. Through this way of eating. So throughout since January 1st, 2024, I've been 99% strict lion diet. So for me, it's fatty red meat, um, salt and water. I have experimented with dairy, with eggs, with butter, and I haven't had results that were to my liking. Any of those experiments. So I'll keep trying, and maybe one day I'll have a good result, and I'll see that it didn't, affect me in a certain way. But for
Besides
now,
beef, besides beef, do you ever have goat, lamb, any other ruminant?
I do. I'll have buffalo. I'll have lamb. I can also tolerate, which is wonderful. I can tolerate crabs. I can tolerate scallops, and I can tolerate shrimp. And I think I've tried flounder.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tolerate seafood as far as the ones I've tried so far. And I've cooked them myself because I don't trust anyone to cook for me unless it's like a certain type of place, like a Brazilian place where I know they're not going to, use seed oils on my meat. But I'm very, very sensitive to everything but ruminant meats and some seafood.
And when we talk about seed oils, we're talking about canola, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower, safflower,
Flax,
grapeseed oil, rice bran oil, and
sesame.
cottonseed oil. Uh, Sesame, probably not as bad, less bad, let's say, and others, but these eight that I mentioned definitely are not very good, and for many reasons. That's a topic for another live stream. But uh,
What would be the consideration for sesame not being as bad?
the only reason I'm saying that is because Kate Shanahan, which we are going to have later, I think next month here, I heard her say in Hack Your Health, this past Hack Your Health, that sesame seed oil was not as bad. Uh,
Just curious.
Probably the best fat is what we've been telling to people for 70 years or more, that it's not good. Okay, animal fat is bad.
True.
Okay, saturated fat does not cause any problems. And I should mention my disclaimer that I am a physician, but you're not my patient. I'm not your doctor, and this live stream is for informational purposes
I am
only.
my own doctor. I am
But
definitely,
your health is not in my hands or not even your doctor's hands. Your health is in whose hand?
my hands.
Yeah. So you mentioned a little bit the mental health issues, the depression, and at some point that you had gone home to plan to not being alive anymore. Okay. Tell us a little bit about that and how changing your diet also brought you clarity and got rid of the anxiety, depression.
So, my first suicidal thought was at 4 years old, um, and depression started then. I was going through a lot as a child, and since this whole switch after that January 1st, 2024, there hasn't been one suicidal thought show up in and they like when I tell you that I had them, they would show up 4 or 5 times a day, every single day. And so I had to fight that my whole life, along with the pain. Um, and that was one of the hardest things. But what happened was, it, like a force field was created, and I don't know. They they don't show up anymore. And the depression is 100% gone and hasn't come back. It's crazy how bad that is for people, and there's so many people that have to deal with that same exact thing every day, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm talking, and I won't shut up. This is one of the main reasons.
And thank you for sharing with us and being vulnerable. I should mention for those listening that there are two Harbor psychiatrists that in the past 3-4 years have written books on the effect, basically, on a ketogenic, low carb, high fat, and carnivore diets having the effect they are having on mental health. Dr. Christopher Palmer wrote Brain Energy, and Dr. Georgia Eid, wrote Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. And there are ongoing studies researching this, and there is enough evidence already to be able to make the claim that ketogenic diets do improve not one, not two, but pretty much all mental health disorders, from anxiety, depression, bipolar illness. I've met people with bipolar illness
Yeah.
that was severe. They were on strong antipsychotics and everything, and now they are not using anything, and they have put their disorders into remission. People with schizophrenia since the age of 8. Uh, I've had them in the channel here. So I am not talking about just a few anecdotes. I'm talking about real people having real results and studies that are starting to pile up, basically. There was even a clinic that opened in Philadelphia about, I think, a year or a little bit more ago, where the whole purpose is to have people with mental health disorders come into the clinic, and they feed them. I think it's a residential type of facility. You spend there uh, however length of time is. Uh, I don't know what the program is, but they cook and feed them a very low carbohydrate diet, and they're having magnificent results. So
Wow.
uh, this is not your experience only. And so tell me something. Our thumbnail is this, and I see in the background there a certificate. You are a Kiltz Health certified coach.
Taught by the best.
So thank you. Uh, so you decided to go a little bit further and learn what you had experienced, the why behind of what you had experienced. So tell
Right.
us a little bit about the course, if you can.
Yeah. So I was super excited when I saw this happen because I just want to expand my knowledge on the subject and figure out, why this happened to me. And so when I go and share, and I before the course, I've been sharing my story for the last 2 years, and I get emails, and I get on Instagram, people message me every single day. How can I do this? Can you help me? And I didn't want to offer help until I could offer help based off of a little more information than just me going through it. So when I saw the course, I automatically joined up for the first one, and it was amazing. And I met so many wonderful people, and you are an amazing instructor. And we had lots of wonderful guests throughout the whole entire course to help come in and explain different aspects of, business, insurance, coaching, how to go even about talk to someone for the first time. So yeah, I feel like getting that extra base of real world information and real world data that I can help share with people will help me in the journey of healing others.
If you want to learn more about the course, the link is in the description, or you can go to drkiltz.com, or you can join our community, also in the descriptions, how to join the community. We have the Kiltz Mighty Tribe. We have free Zoom calls every week, and you can learn about the coaching course there. And all you have to do is become a member of the community, and it's free. It's all you have to do is go in, you put your email, sign up, you're in. Okay. Uh, if you have any questions for Lash, as we call him, his name is Stephen Lashbrook, but he goes by Coach Lash. Please put the questions in the chat and let me see the questions. Also, we're gonna do a hashtag Lash
Ooh.
for a hat. Actually, it's gonna be a T-shirt. The Steak a Day keeps a doctor away T-shirt.
One of my
Okay.
favorite T-shirts, which I wear very often.
All right. So hashtag Lash will get that. Okay.
Rocking
And
Coach Amy,
so
my
we have a
pal.
question here. Let's
Do you really want to know what prompted me to move to Florida, Amy?
yeah.
I'll tell you.
What prompted your move to Florida?
So I was working for this company for 11 years. That was my steady job, and they stuck it to me. And you can't really survive in LA without a job, and so I had to leave right away. Money wasn't there, and jobs weren't there, and so my best friend said, "Hey, why don't you come back to Florida?" Um, and he is in the Gulf Coast, and I haven't experienced the Gulf Coast of Florida yet. So here I am, and it's amazing. I love it. Had no idea. Clearest water I've seen in this entire country. Amazing.
So you're up in the panhandle.
I am in the Panhandle.
Okay.
I'm in Floribama. Where is Amy? I don't remember. I think she's somewhere cold.
Terry B is asking, Lash, what does your family think of your positive changes over the last couple of years?
Well, well. My
Because
mother.
they first of all, we haven't even talked about you lost 70 pounds,
Oh yeah,
but
I lost
y-
70 pounds.
you were not trying you were not even trying to do that.
Wasn't
You were
even a
looking
thought
for
in my
something else, but
mind.
you had unexpected benefits. So they gotta see the weight came off. They gotta see that
Yeah.
the skin is clear. They gotta see that.
And they got to see they got to see me smile, right? So people would always smile, smile. Why don't you smile? And no, when you're living with the pain and the misery, there isn't a smile. Like every one of them was fake, right? So, um, real smiles. That's now I got to get my teeth fixed because they're all messed up from all the carbs and crap, right? So now I'm like embarrassed that I have shitty teeth, but um, I don't care. I smile now. But that's one of the huge things. They get to see me smile for real. My mom, she kind of went on this journey with me because she suffered from MS, 4 different types of arthritis, all kinds of issues. Her whole life, she was on prescription drugs for 50 years, basically. Uh, and she's down to like, I think, 2 pills for some like minor things. And she's doing better than she's ever been. So God bless her. She's in Costa Rica. Um, she's probably
So
watching us.
I want to make this clear for those. Again, we probably have a lot of people that know what you're talking about when you say MS. But MS, you're talking about multiple sclerosis. It's an autoimmune, chronic, ever worsening condition, or is it? Is she
Right.
better?
She's to the fact that she's off all those nasty meds, and doc, like the meds she was on, like she can give you the list. It's insane. It was insane. Like I mean, her pill cabinet was worse than Carrie's. Um, yeah, it was nuts. And so yeah, that part. And then my dad, he's happy. Our relationships actually improved since this. My niece, not so much. She's a vegan. Um, my brother, though, who was a vegan, who has health issues from being vegan, I believe. He, I'm, he's coming around. He's, I think, 10 days now without carb. Well, maybe under 20 carbs, maybe. He's got type 2 diabetes, I believe. So yeah, we're coaching him, my mom and I, and so that's amazing. So there's yeah, things are happening with the family, but they're stoked for me. They're happy to see my life improve so drastically because I literally was in the pits.
All right. So definitely, I know now the story of multiple people with multiple sclerosis that I personally know, and hundreds or more anecdotal evidence, and evidence is starting to emerge about multiple sclerosis getting better with a very low carbohydrate or carnivore diet. And
Yep.
the first thing to go so that goes away is fatigue. Um, I met a nurse just a few months ago, and we were talking. I was visiting a friend, and anyways, the short of it is she feels so much better after we had that little talk.
That's
Anyway,
amazing.
So, hashtag LASH. I see a bunch of people putting that. And if you have any
I
more
saw there was
questions,
another question, but now I can't see it.
oh, it's here. Um, there we go. Our good friend Chris. Dr. Nelson, do you feel anti-Mullerian hormones are affected by the artificial ingredients in processed foods? Sorry if this is a curveball. Well, it's not in the topic, but the answer is I can say almost probably yes to almost everything because ultra processed foods are not real food.
Right.
It's fake food. How can you expect to eat something that was made in a lab and think that is not going to harm you? And I
Right. You
used
might
to,
as well just.
yes. So most of the things you go to the supermarket to buy, and some statistics say 75 to 90% of the foods in the supermarket are ultra processed foods, things that usually come in a box, a bag, or a can. And most of that stuff you shouldn't ever put in your mouth because it's damaging to your health and people don't see it. And then you go to the supermarket and you can see people are sick
And their
and
carts are filled with it.
then they get convinced by the sign on the box that says heart healthy. They're not. Man is the only animal smart enough to make their own food and dumb enough to eat it. And I'm quoting from one of Dr. Kiltz's books, and I think he quoted from someone else, but uh, it's true. It's not real food.
Right.
Okay.
Kitty wouldn't eat it.
So, yes, Chris, this will be the answer to any question related to ultra processed food. Eat real foods. Okay. Eat real foods. You start there, you are going to improve your health, period. What people don't realize is even those things that come in a bag, a box, a bag, or a can, if they even if they look very closely like food, they're not food, they're fake food. Okay. So bags of Doritos and salsa, you're damaging your body. Okay. Eat real food. Start there. Okay.
Even the new white bags of Doritos. Don't be fooled. It's still poison. It's still seed oils cooked in seed oils. It's still
Yeah.
corn grown in glyphosate. It's still GMO corn. It's still. Don't be fooled. Okay, just eat real food. Just like my cat.
Buy your meat, buy your vegetables if you're gonna have vegetables, fresh food. Okay. They're minimally processed because they've been cut and put in some type of container, and sometimes you buy them loose and have to put them in a plastic bag. But listen, that at least it's real food. Okay. And if you only made that change of not ever having again anything that's got refined flour, refined sugar, refined seed oils, and pretty much everything that comes in a box, a bag, or a can, your health will improve. Okay. I am not your doctor. You're not my patient. Anyone listening, this is for informational purposes only, and I cannot guarantee anything as a physician. Uh, I can't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee that if you eat real food, you're going to improve your health.
I
Okay.
can.
And so,
I would put lots of money if I had it. I'd put a bet on that. Yes.
and some people who are sicker need to be more, need to go further more into the restriction. Okay. But if you just start there, Um, all right. I'm looking for more questions here. And thank you everyone for being here. We do have 63 people watching right now. Let me check because all right. Looking to see if we have any questions in Instagram. We don't.
I think we missed a question. I think somewhere in there. I think it was a hashtag lash. It was something. I don't know where.
This is not a question, but definitely worth putting up here because unfortunately we also spray plants with chemicals so other animals cannot eat them, but we eat them. Does that make sense? You put insecticides, pesticides, so the pests don't eat the plants and you can take them, but then we eat them. And they have us convinced that they're not going to damage you.
Right.
All right. So if I missed a question, please put it again.
Oh, somebody was talking to Carrie JB. I don't have my glasses on. They were at the Charleston meetup.
Yes. Well, he made the comment that we were talking there, but I don't know. I'll go ahead and
It
answer
said,
this
Lash,
question.
are you a carnivore coach at the end?
Rocking
Yeah,
coach
I
Amy, who is also a Kiltz Health certified coach. Do you make the food for your kitty?
Sometimes, but most of the times I get her canned meat, canned fishes. She loves the little canned meats, canned fishes.
I have seen the movie, but I'm gonna have to go back just to see what
I haven't seen that. But
Dr.
you usually
kind of looks like the
get
blind
someone
man,
else.
the seer from 10,000 BC. Yeah, usually they call me Uncle Fester. All right, we do have another question, but I'm trying to see, just don't want to miss it. If I missed any of your questions, please put it again in the box. And hashtag LASH, remind me to do that at the end of the...
Oh, don't forget giveaway.
All right, so... And thank you, Leon, for your comment about the pesticides. Leon is also a Kiltz Health certified coach.
Awesome.
All right.
We got a few of us in here, huh?
Yes.
Yes, we do. That's right. Keep it strong.
All right. So, Lash, what will you tell people who are comfortable in their diseases from food? And I have to make the comment, a lot of people don't realize it is the food that's making them sick.
Right.
Right. So some people are really trying their best to get better, to eat healthy, but they are following the eat healthy that a lot of us talk about, which is a low-fat vegetable protein diet, and they're lacking in good nutritious protein and good nutritious fat. Fat is not bad, okay? So, but what would you tell people who are comfortable in their diseases from food is the question.
I mean, I would want them to understand that there's an optimal version of themselves that is a superhuman, and it lives within inside them, and they can easily unlock that power in that person.
So my message to anyone who's completely healthy, they feel that they're healthy, they are not taking any medication. If you're completely healthy, keep doing what you're doing. Because as a physician, my interest is to get you better, to get you healthy. And if you're healthy, you're happy with the way you're eating. It doesn't matter what way you're eating, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, Mediterranean, low carb, keto, uh, carnivore, whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, right? But if you're suffering from many chronic diseases that most doctors will tell you that are irreversible, incurable, progressive, ever worsening diseases, I'm here to unfortunately criticize my own colleagues. You're wrong. I often ask people with diabetes. Yesterday, I'm in Sam's Club, and I was wearing short sleeves, and a lady sees my continuous glucose monitor. And she says, "Is that for diabetes?" I said, "Yeah, that's a continuous glucose monitor, although I don't have diabetes anymore, but I'd like to keep an eye on my blood sugars." And I pull up my sleeve a little bit further, and I'm wearing two of them because I'm running a little experiment. So I show her, and she said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." She's been wondering about using that, and I said, "Well, do you have diabetes?" She says, "Well, I have pre-diabetes. Have your doctor told you that you can reverse that?" She said, "No."
Nope. God, that's
So any doctor who does not approach the patient with "we can reverse this" is doing a disservice to the patient, because most of the time what happens, "Oh, let me give you some medication," and they
yeah.
start writing medications, and you end up having 3, 4, 5, 6, and the number continues to grow instead of deprescribing because the patient has gotten better.
Right.
You-
And you'll even need medications for your medications at some point. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
Because this medication is doing this thing. And so, wait, you have to control that with this medication. That blows my mind as well. That's,
Yeah, it's crazy because I've been in practices where patients had literally, I'm not more than 20 or 25 different medications on the medication list. And I
yeah.
had to spend all the time that I had allowed trying to prescribe multiple medications that were not necessary.
Right. Because how many times does a medication, if the doctor doesn't look at everything close enough and then gives you another one on top of it, and that has some drastic effect on you because they didn't pay enough attention to all the other medications?
Anyways,
Yeah.
so JHB 712,
That's the one I saw.
yeah, had just asked Carrie how you were doing this past Sunday at Charleston meetup. We were there this weekend. Enjoyed our chats. Dr. Nelson is Janine. Nice to meet you. She was there with her husband. And Janine and I found that we were born in the same year. Uh,
1980, right?
yes,
Yeah.
just the other day. Interestingly enough, I started medical school January of 1981. Lash, are you a carnivore coach?
Yes, I am. And I actually have my first client is having so much success, and he's like a month and a half. Where are we at? A month and 26 days in. He quit drinking. He lost like 30 pounds already. He's never felt better. He's happy. He's smiling. And yeah, so my first client, one of my best friends that I've been trying to help forever, he finally decided to jump on board. So yes, I am an official coach. and certified.
What What do you think about alcohol? You mentioned alcohol. Is alcohol good for you?
So I hate alcohol. I always have for some reason. I always just, even when I was a drug addict at 16, 17, 14, 15, all those years, um, I never drank alcohol. I didn't like it. But no, alcohol is poison. There is no safe alcohol.
Oh, but
But
if we drink
but
red
doctor,
wine,
yes,
if
yeah, I
we
was
drink
just gonna
red
say,
wine, it has antioxidants. How can
yeah,
you not drink red wine for the
yeah.
antioxidants?
I,
It's
you
always a
know,
poison 100% of the time.
yeah,
It's going to damage your liver to some degree.
yeah,
And there is not enough benefits to counter
no.
the negatives. All right, brisket boomers, our friend Amy
Oh, hi,
is
Amy.
asking, Lash, what do you do besides diet for your health? Sunlight, exercise, what else?
I know
Give
she's
us a
asking for the people because she knows.
uh
Yes.
Thank you,
So
Amy.
sunlight, lots of it. Number one, especially with psoriasis and certain types of autoimmune issues. Vitamin D, we're all lacking it. The whole world is lacking vitamin D. So yes, get out in the sun, and you won't burn. A great side effect of being carnivore, you will not burn. I cannot burn. I went to the equator. I stood outside for 12 hours on my 50th birthday and tried to burn. Didn't burn. Did it the next day. Didn't burn. Did that for 5 days straight. Didn't burn. So um, I do meditation, a lot of it. I do exercise. A lot of you guys have seen me on my Total Gym. So I do exercise on that. I also bodyboard, I paddleboard, I swim, I run on the beach, I walk on the beach, um, I read, I listen to music, I play music. Um, yeah, all that for mindful, all of that. And I also another thing before is changed my clothes, no synthetic fibers, changed my toothpaste, changed my soap, changed everything I wash things with, changed my blankets, my sheets to all non synthetic, either cotton or whatever this is, linen. Yeah.
Uh, you just mentioned a bunch of things that you do, and to do all those things on a regular basis, it takes a lot of energy. How was the energy? How did it change when you made a change in your diet?
I could barely get out of bed to go to work. I could barely do anything at work. Um, I would have to leave early every day. I would get home and go straight to bed. Um, Anytime I was a percussionist, and so anytime I would have to play a concert, I would have to, like, it would just be hell for me. And then I would get off stage and collapse. Now I have like unlimited amounts of energy. I I actually sleep for the first time in my life a full 7 hours every night. I go to bed early. I wake up at like 4 a.m. every day, between 4 and 5 a.m. And I'm out, I'm gone. If I'm ever in need of a nap, I can take a 20-minute cat nap and be right back. But yeah, no, I have endless amounts of energy. Yeah, and strength. I have like newfound strength. I can do crazy handstand things and stuff that I've been trying to do forever, and I can do them all now. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. So I'm going to
Getting to
bring
the
this
top of the
up just
hour.
to have it just one more chance. People, hashtag Lash. And I'm going to go very quickly because we're going to end about 5 minutes. And there's some questions here that I want to either questions or comments. Let's see. Rocking coach Amy, Well, I guess I'm unprofessional too, Dr. Nelson, as I like to add a little humor to my talks.
Humor is like one of the most important things for us as far as your mindset. You got to laugh.
All right, quickly, do you remember what you used to eat as a kid?
You know, it's funny. I had a huge brainstorm about this last night before I went to bed. And I've lived in so many different states. And I realized that in each different state, I ate a completely different diet based on that, and also based on like my life at the time. So like I grew up on crabs, hoagies, and pizza. And then depending on where I lived in the country, I would eat like a different diet. Yeah. So as a kid, it was a lot of Polish food. It was a lot of deli hoagie sandwiches, cheesesteaks, and pizza as a kid. Yeah.
All right. And Chris asks or comments, I was relieved of hypertension, chronic pain, gastrointestinal issues, kidney stones, a walker, 10 medications, and a beer belly on carnivore.
I had kidney stones twice. Both times had an ambulance ride to the hospital because I felt I was dying. So yeah, been there on that. Gastrointestinal, yeah, had those issues. Chronic pain, had those. Yeah, yeah, I had man boobs.
All right. So thank you, Chris. And CB, who's always joking. And I don't know if I'm supposed to let the cat off the bag, but CB is a sheriff deputy. I thought alcohol makes your clothes fall off. And I'm sure CB has seen his share of stupid things alcohol does.
I bet he has. I bet he has.
All right. So we are going to run the giveaway. I'll give you one more minute while I find.
Oh, it's my Instagram.
Yes, Instagram Carnivore Healing Retreat. Tell us 1 minute. Tell us about this.
I plan to open a retreat where people can come and learn how to do this. If they don't feel comfortable trying to do it on their own, they can have a safe place to do this. I want to have some cabins. I want it to be here in the sunshine, and I want to be able to coach them through the beginning of their journey, and also have monthly meetups for the entire carnivore world to come join.
All right. So
that was a fast pitch.
Where do they go to donate if they want to donate? Is
GoFundMe.com/carnivore healing retreat, or if you just go to GoFundMe, you can just type in the search carnivore healing and it'll pop up. Yeah. Congratulations, Lizzie.
Lizzie World 007. Please email Alia, ALIA at DoctorKiltz.com, spelled out DoctorKiltz.com, okay? And remind her that you want a steak shirt. It's the shirt that says a steak a day keeps the doctor away. 10 seconds, last words, Lash, to our audience, maybe those who are undecided on changing their diet.
If my before and after pictures don't do it for you, let this smile do it for you, because it's real. And just know that there is a whole nother person inside of you that is a superhuman. Bring them out.
Thank you very much. 5:30 in the community. We're having a special guest. Come. You have a great day. Eat meat.